Good evening and welcome to WTOP Wednesday Night News. I'm Mike DeWolf. We have a student reaction coming up about the gunman on a North Carolina campus and a Fulton man who is appearing on Good Morning America.
And I'm Megan Roberts. We also will be bringing you an update on the Herman Cain sex allegations today. Today is November 9th, 2011.
Let's take a look at the top developing story in the sporting world with Jonathan Kahn. 10 News starts now.
Big news coming out of Happy Valley. Penn State head coach Joe Paterno announced today that he will retire effective the end of the season. Former player O.J. McDuffie had this to say.
Paterno became Penn State's head football coach when Lyndon Johnson was president and did more in the next 5 decades of coaching than anyone had before. Despite a crowd of support.
Lion coach Jerry Sandusky in 2002. Paterno said he was absolutely devastated by the developments. The 84-year-old coach is in his 46th year as Penn State head coach. Paterno did, in 2002, report the news to his boss, but many believe that he should have gone to the police with the news. Many critics are calling for Paterno's immediate resignation and do not believe he should coach this Saturday's game against Nebraska. That's it for now. Stay tuned for my full sports update, but for now, back to the desk.
Investigators ran for the hills Wednesday, shaken to the core by fear that Italy, Europe's fourth largest economy, was headed deeper into crisis mode. U.S. stocks sharply fell at the opening bell this morning due to Italy's 10th-year bond yielding rise above 7%. It's the highest since the euro was launched in 1999. Major banks were among the largest American stocks to plummet, with Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, and Morgan Stanley falling more than 8%, and J.P. Morgan Chase, Bank of America, and Wells Fargo dropping more than 5%.
Earlier today, the region of eastern Turkey was struck by an earthquake of a 5.8 magnitude. The quake hit in the town of Van, causing 18 buildings to collapse, including 2 hotels and 1 school. So far, it has been reported that 4 people are dead and 50 others buried beneath the rubble. Of those missing in the rubble are 2 reporters from CNN. According to the Turkish Government Crisis Center, 16 people have been rescued from the debris and the search continues. This is the second devastating earthquake to hit this region of Turkey in the last 2 weeks.
So, I mean, it's been a really, really nice week today, this whole week, and it's just a surprise that the first week of November was so nice.
It was beautiful. Today it was gorgeous out. So we're going to take a look at our current conditions outside with meteorologist Mike Stallman. Mike, what's it looking like out there?
Good evening, SUNY Oswego. Meteorologist Mike Stallman here, looking at your weather outside. The word of the night is windy. We have southerly winds 15 to 25 miles an hour and higher gusts. Look for the rain to come in the next couple of hours with temperatures dropping to about the upper 40s. Tomorrow temperatures aren't going to rise very much and it will be a rainy, kind of showery day. Sunny skies later, and I will have a look at your forecast coming up in a little bit. Back inside to you guys.
The women accusing presidential candidate Herman Cain of sexual harassment could be joining forces.
They may have a joint news conference. Brian Todd has more from Washington.
She says this is no longer a private matter, but a personally embarrassing one. Now, Karen Krausar wants to organize a joint news conference with other women who've accused Herman Cain of sexual harassment. Krausar tells CNN that's when she might release details of her allegations against Cain, saying, "I have kept all of the copies of my allegations." We spoke to Krausar's attorney.
What is her reason for wanting to speak publicly and give details about this alleged incident?
Given all that's come out now, she feels she really has to give the details to make it clear that her complaint was not baseless or a fabrication, as Mr. Cain has stated in his press conferences.
Cain said this about Krausar's 1999 allegations against him while they worked at the National Restaurant Association.
She could not find anyone to corroborate her story.
As their attorneys do the media rounds, all sorts of questions are raised about a potential news conference. If and when that happens, it'll likely open up these women's lives even further. Their attorneys are already facing questions about the character of their clients.
For Krausar, there are questions about another workplace complaint after her days at the Restaurant Association. Krausar tells CNN she did file a grievance with the old Immigration and Naturalization Service because she wasn't allowed to telecommute while recovering from a car accident, as another employee was allowed to do.
The fact that someone has filed another complaint against another employer has nothing to do with the merits of this complaint.
CNN contributor Maria Cardona hired Krausar at the INS, says she trusted Krausar so much she sent her to Miami to deal with the media crush over the Elian Gonzalez case.
I needed the best team player that I had, whose credibility, again, in the media, because of her great work, was beyond reproach, someone who was non-political.
As for accuser Sharon Bialik, Kane's campaign suggests she has credibility problems and laid out details of lawsuits she's been involved in, bankruptcy and other issues, which she admits to.
I have had bankruptcy, and it was after the death of my mother to help my father pay for medical bills and a custody battle.
Kane says the Restaurant Association paid Krausar severance rather than fight the charges, even though Kane says they were baseless. He also says he never met Bialik, his latest accuser.
Tensions ran high as a gunman caused a 3-hour lockdown of the campus of Campbell University.
According to WRAL, the gunman was 24-year-old freshman Jared Knight, who was suspected for stealing weapons from his job. He barricaded himself inside his university-owned house. Joining us now on the phone is Joseph Sindoni, a student at Campbell University who was on campus at the time of the lockdown.
Well, thanks so much for joining us, Joseph. Can we get your opinion on something? Where were you when you heard about the gunman?
Well, I was leaving my dorm building about to go to football practice, and the ARAs stopped me and told me I couldn't leave because he said the whole campus was on lockdown.
Yeah, and following the tragic shootings at Virginia Tech, many universities have updated their emergency protocol and their procedures. So can you describe how the school went about getting the information of the gunman out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I guess apparently there was some type of texting procedure that they used to reach a lot of people. I didn't get the text, but a lot of people did, and apparently it worked really well, and it was able to keep everybody pretty much safe inside the buildings here.
All right, well, thanks so much for joining us, Joseph, and we hope that you stay safe and have a great night.
All right, thanks, guys.
Mexican security forces have committed serious human rights violations and even murder. According to a new report by Human Rights Watch, the report says that Mexican police have tortured and even killed innocent people as they try to fight organized crime and drug trafficking there. Nearly 5 years into this war against Mexican drug cartels, Mexico was rebuked by a human rights organization that found a pattern of abuses by the security forces.
Greek Prime Minister George Papandreou will officially resign today following days of talks on forming a new government. In a televised address to the nation, Papandreou said that a government of national unity would do whatever was necessary to bring Greece out of the crisis. He says the country will be stronger and more secure in the future after a bailout deal is implemented. The name of his successor is unknown.
Some 198 pounds and one newspaper story later, Jay Warnick of Fulton is world famous. Warnick lost 198 pounds in 10 months on a bet with his wife. On Tuesday, the Post-Standard and its online affiliate Syracuse.com featured Warnick in an article that saw more than 70,000 hits. And today, Warnick's tale spent most of the day as the top story on Yahoo News. This Thursday, Warnick and his family will appear on Good Morning America.
The Oswego County Sheriff's Office continues its investigation into the disappearance of a Fulton man over the weekend. Ray Gregory has been missing since Saturday morning and was last seen at 2 a.m. leaving the Lighthouse Lanes bowling alley in Oswego. Investigators have searched the area where Gregory's car was found, but so far to no avail. Gregory is around 6 feet tall, 250 pounds with brown hair and hazel eyes. He was last seen wearing a red windbreaker and black t-shirt. Anyone with information is asked to call the Oswego County Sheriff's Office at 349-3411.
We have some showers moving into the area overnight. How is this going to affect our weather tomorrow? Find out coming up after the break. You're watching WTOP 10 at 10.
Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
Get your Smokey on. If you see someone in danger of starting a wildfire, step in and make a difference. Because 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
Right now, we have Adam Wolf joining us live on the phone from the Oswegonian to discuss some of the stories they're covering for this week. Adam, first, I want to just thank you for joining us last night.
So, Adam, what's the top story in the Oswegonian?
Right, well, everybody knows about Occupy Wall Street being out in the quad in Oswego. We wanted to do a comparison between that protest and arguably the wildest protest you've ever seen on SUNY Oswego's campus, which was about 50 years ago in 40 actually. So 69 to 70.
Okay, and what were those protests about in the 1969?
Well, those students were protesting the Vietnam War. They felt like they were being lied to by their government and that they were in serious risk of being drafted after they graduated from school. And they were angry. They were really angry.
So you're definitely seeing a similarity between having issues with the government, but what were the differences between the two protests?
I mean, the differences couldn't be more stark. You know, Occupy Oswego is a bunch of people in tents in the quad. Back then, it was really serious. You had a 2,500 person march down from the quad to the post office in Oswego. You had students ambushing Culkin Hall and sort of occupying it for a day. And they actually did some fun things. They called it light mischief. They ripped up a bunch of records and they made long distance phone calls. But they were really nice about it. Once they left, they offered to clean the whole thing up.
All right, well, Adam, thanks so much for joining us tonight. And we'll look forward to seeing that story in the Oswegonian this week.
Yeah, it's going to be a great story. Pick it up on Friday.
And now here's a look at your full forecast with Mike Stallman.
Good evening, Oswego. Meteorologist Mike Stallman here with your forecast tonight. We have temperature of 60 degrees, the dew point 33, so it's a dry night, but as I said before, it's very gusty, it's windy, so if you don't have to go outside, I'd encourage not to. Today, the one thing I'd like to point out, it was 68 degrees. That's about 20 degrees higher than our average high for the day, so I hope you got outside to enjoy it because it was gorgeous. And the sunset will be at 4:46 p.m. tonight. Looking at the temperatures around the area, we've got 61 degrees in Syracuse, a 55 in Buffalo, 51 in Binghamton, temperatures around 55 to 60. And some of the weather headlines for today. Showery weather to come. There's a historic storm over the Gulf of Alaska, and the reason I say that is because it could wipe out barrier islands. Could be hurricane force wind gusts, so looking really good for that. And possible snow tomorrow night, we'll find out shortly. And here's a look at our WeatherTap radar. Right now we've got some showers coming into the area. They'll be here in the next hour or two. Looking at the satellite, that's also indicative of a cold front that's coming through the area overnight. And here's our IntelliCast surface map. The cold front that has been charging through, it is coming right up to New York and it will be crossing our region during the night. Now looking at our futurecast, tomorrow morning we should have some showers around 7 a.m. and we're going to look for that to continue from 10 a.m. on. So when you're outside walking for classes, you're going to need your jacket, you're going to need an umbrella. It's going to be a showery day. So for tonight, we have temperature 48 degrees, scattered showers, it's very breezy outside, winds about 10 to 15. Tomorrow we have 50-degree temperature, chance of showers and turning partly sunny, southwest wind 10 to 15. Tomorrow night, a few showers, and there could be some wet snow mixing in very late with temperatures hovering in the mid-30s. So look out for that if you're a snow lover. Tomorrow night's going to be your night. And here's a look at your 7-day forecast. We've got 50 degrees again, as I said, tomorrow. Friday's not looking like a very nice day with temperatures in the low 40s, rain, snow showers in the morning. Saturday looking like the best day of the weekend. Sunday is looking like we're going to have a few showers later at night. And Monday and Tuesday warming up, but we're going to have showers again. So looking like a showery pattern, guys.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
The Lakers oust Cortland 50 to 98-20.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
I'm lucky. I get to do something I love. How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork? I help keep kids in school. Good. And that's the name of the game. My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
Welcome back to WTOP 10. Now here's Erica Pratt with your entertainment news. Erica, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Megan. I'm Erica Pratt with your entertainment news. Nashville's biggest night is upon us with the 2011 Country Music Awards. This award show is being hosted by Brad Paisley and Carrie Underwood. Both stars are up for an award, with Brad being nominated for Entertainer of the Year. Tune in after the news to catch the biggest winners and upsets in country music world. The Oscars are without a host. Mariah Carey has a new gig after the pregnancy, and Live with Regis and Kelly have new plans for the future. Michelle Wright has tonight's Hollywood in a Minute.
Hollywood's biggest night has no host. Comedian Eddie Murphy said he would no longer MC the Oscars, which is 3.5 months away. Murphy stepped down after Brett Ratner quit. Ratner was to produce the live show, but then faced a firestorm for using a gay slur during a public forum Friday. Filmmaker Brian Grazer has now signed on to fill the spot. Ratner had recruited Murphy. The two had worked together on the movie Tower Heist, now in theaters.
I stole $264 in cash. Rule number 1, never give your wallet to a thief.
We know Mariah Carey for selling albums, but now the music diva is pushing diet plans. Carey is the new celebrity spokeswoman for Jenny, the weight loss program formerly known as Jenny Craig. Carey says she lost 30 pounds from Jenny and a total of 70 pounds after the birth of her twins.
The thing is, you can't just be on Jenny and be like, I'm going to eat whatever, a lot of it. You know what I mean? It's portion control.
Regis Philbin may be retiring next week, but his show can still keep his partner's name. The Hollywood Reporter says Kelly Ripa just signed a lucrative deal to stay on as host of Live for another 5 years. But there's still no word on who's going to replace Philbin. For Hollywood Minute, I'm Michelle Wright.
Mississippi voters have rejected a ballot measure to eliminate abortion. The so-called Personhood Initiative asked voters to amend the state constitution to define life as beginning at conception. That would have removed abortion as an option even for victims of rape and incest. The measure could have also restricted in vitro fertilization.
They may not be appearing on New York roadways right away, but the Alliance Defense Fund has won a round in the 7-year-old battle to allow motorists to get Choose Life license plates on their vehicles. New York State's Department of Motor Vehicles blocked the plates, saying they didn't want to be involved in the debate over abortion. The Alliance contended that the state was overreaching its authority and violating the First Amendment. The issue was taken to court, and on Tuesday, the Federal Northern District out of Syracuse ruled that on the behalf of the Alliance. The actual distribution of the plates, though, will be held back in case there is an appeal.
So, I mean, a lot of different stuff has been happening around the sports world, but something that really struck me was the death of Joe Frazier.
Absolutely. And so we're going to take a look at our sports right now with Jonathan Kahn.
Good evening, I'm Jonathan Kahn, and here's what's making headlines in your sports world.
As Joe Frazier as the embodiment of what a great champion could be and a great human being.
Therefore, first of all, what do we need? We need guys like who have. I'm driving the car out the back. Yeah. See, boom.
That's good. No,
See,
fine.
boom. Back, staying right here.
They're supposed to cut the audio. I'm supposed to.
I mean, who has spent the time like Marciana, Joe Lewis, right on down the line, Sonny Liston, all these great guys, Archie Moore.
The boxing world is mourning the loss of a champion. Former heavyweight champion Hall of Famer Joe Frazier lost his fight with liver cancer Monday night. Family members say he passed away at his home in Philadelphia. He had only been recently diagnosed with the disease. Frazier, nicknamed Smoking Joe, was known for a devastating left hook and his epic rivalry with fellow boxing great Muhammad Ali. He fought Ali 3 times, including the famous Thrilla in Manila fight in 1975. Frazier retired a year after, in 1976, only to make a short-lived comeback in the early 1980s before retiring for good. He left boxing with an impressive record, 32 wins, 27 coming by knockout. He lost 4 times, twice to Ali and twice to George Foreman. Frazier also recorded 1 draw. In his later years, Frazier owned a boxing gym in Philadelphia where he taught others the sport. Joe Frazier was 67 years old. Former Patriots defensive lineman Albert Haynesworth didn't have to wait long to find a new job. He was cleaned off waivers today by 4-4 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. General Manager Mike Dominic said they wouldn't have been interested if they hadn't lost starter Gerald McCoy for the year with a torn right bicep. Haynesworth, who is trying to revive his career in New England after a disappointing stint with the Redskins, only played in 6 games, totaling 3 tackles and 0 sacks, which was the complete opposite of what the defensively inept Patriots needed. Tampa Bay ironically tried to sign Albert, the D lineman, in 2009, but he opted for the Redskins. Rounding out tonight's sports recap, we have 2 first-time Oswego State athletes of the week. On the men's side, senior wrestler Cameron Mills finished second at the Ithaca College Wrestling Invitational. The 184-pounder narrowly lost in the finals to Tim Luke, who is the 4th ranked in the nation from Centenary College, 7-5. On the women's side, sophomore forward Melissa Seamont netted a power play goal and an assist as the women's hockey team grabbed their first win of the season in a 2-1 win over the Red Dragons of Cortland on Sunday. The Lakers picked up 4 much-needed ECAC West points with a win Sunday and a tie on Saturday. That's it for sports. Now back over to the desk.
And when we come back, we'll take a look at the lighter side of news.
But first, take a look at your community calendar.
You're watching WTOP, your home for Laker hockey.
sharpen you, and then we'll take it higher.
The Oswego MBA program, helping you achieve your goals with a customized curriculum developed with flexibility in mind. Take classes year-round, full or part-time in Oswego, online or at the Metro Center in downtown Syracuse. More information is available online or by calling 315-312-2911.
So you can't save money? That's easy as pie. Drink from the tap. A $3 bottle of water a day times 10 years times 6% interest is over 14,000 clams. Small changes today, big bucks tomorrow. Feedthepig.org.
Hi, I'm CNN's Rob Marciano, and you're watching WTOP 10, your television station.
And here's a dive into the lighter side of news. A California business owner is harnessing the power of bicycles to roast and deliver coffee.
Adam Krollifer takes us inside this unique and green business model.
They got a rope ladder to the moon, bed and breakfast, board and room.
Davis, California, a college town where bicycles outnumber people. And some of those wheels are just as unique as the people who pedal them. One of those unique people, Alex Roth.
The darker you go, the more caffeine you lose.
A few years ago, Alex got into the coffee business, but knows it can be rough on the environment. So to keep things green, out comes a brilliant bike idea.
We're in Davis, so it makes perfect sense to have sort of a wacky bike-powered invention.
That's right, Alex roasts coffee beans using pedal power and heat from propane. Using a labyrinth of chains and sprockets, every Tuesday, Alex and some friends begin the roasting process.
Bed and breakfast, board and room. You don't want to leave too soon.
Since Alex built this pedal power roasting machine almost 4 years ago, he's roasted over 20,000 pounds of coffee. It's not just the roasting that's bike powered. The jars are delivered to over 160 homes once the beans are roasted to perfection. And of course, they are delivered on bikes. Perhaps even better, the bikers are high school students who love every bit of it. All of whom appreciate what Alex is doing for the environment and completely changing their morning cup of joe.
Herman Cain and Michelle Bachmann are two high-ranking Republicans, but let's see what comedian Conan O'Brien has to say about the two in this week's Conan Clip of the Week.
Michelle Bachmann said a strange thing. Michelle Bachmann says she would add 3 more faces to Mount Rushmore. She would. Yeah, the 3 faces are Ronald Reagan, Calvin Coolidge, and that face her husband Marcus makes when he sees her naked.
Santa's sleigh will not be riding in Suffolk County, New York this year. Faced with the difficult task of balancing a budget in these hard times, officials said they had no choice. They had to sack Santa Claus. The county executive said he could not justify carving out $660 from his $2.7 billion budget to pay David McKell, a World War II veteran and retired homicide detective, to wear his Santa suit and greet the children of Long Island. Suffolk County Executive Steve Levy feels it is not right to take money from the budget to pay for this when there are people losing their jobs due to the budget constraints. After this announcement, Levy was immediately seen as the Grinch who stole Christmas. Many, including fellow office holders, feel there is such a thing as too much penny pinching. And now let's take a look at your Class Day forecast with Mike Stallman.
Thank you, Mike. Tomorrow's looking a little bit showery. We've got temperatures in the upper 40s. It's going to get around to near 50. Not too nice of the weather out, so I would definitely bring a jacket, bring the sweatshirt out, and stay inside. It'd be a good day to read a nice book.
Well, that's really... The weather looked really great the last week, but hopefully we don't get any of that snow you were talking about.
Maybe not here. It'd probably be more inland. We usually don't get a lot by the lake, but we'll see what happens.
All right. Well, that'll do it for us here at the 10 News team. For the 10 News team,
I'm Jonathan Kahn.
I'm Mike Stallman.
I'm Megan Roberts.
And I'm Mike DeWolf. Have a great night, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow at 10.